Just a little over 2 weeks have passed since Memorial Day weekend, and more businesses are open and more people are getting out of the house.
So what are the trends showing us in that 2-week period? Let's break the numbers down right now. Joining us now via Zoom is David Barconnet with Bamatracker. David, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us again. Let's start statewide, then break it down by this region. We have seen a significant spike in those positive cases since the holiday period. Is that correct?
We've seen a spike in certain counties, definitely.
What counties are we mostly talking about there?
If you're looking statewide, there's still a lot of cases in Jefferson County, Mobile County, and Montgomery County. There's a few other places around the state that have had some increase too, like Morgan County.
Well, let's talk about Morgan County for just a second. How would you describe the trend there from at least the last 14 days?
So in the last 14 days, they've actually seen more than half of their total cases come about. So there's a lot of activity in Morgan County for sure. The 7-day average is running 14 cases per day. But just the other day, there was almost 50 cases reported.
All right, David, what about North Alabama? Comparing it to the rest of the state, how does that look as far as the trend?
So North Alabama as a whole is looking pretty good. Counties like Madison and Limestone have seen a little bit of an uptick, but not near the amount like you see in Morgan. There were some other counties that had an uptick, but overall I'd say North Alabama is looking pretty good compared to the rest of the state.
And talk to us a little bit about how you've seen the State Department of Public Health changing its reporting, and how has that affected the trends? You've been doing this for ever since day one, basically. How is that affecting the trends, just that reporting one time every day now?
Well, I'm a little bit afraid that the lag in their reporting is keeping numbers lower than they probably really are. I feel like we were seeing a big jump of tests. Like on Sunday, there was like 13,000 tests reported, but then there was no test reported yesterday. So I would like to see them get back to at least twice a day updates, because I feel like some of these spikes would be smoothed out. I think the 10 a.m. Update also, it puts all the numbers a day behind, and I think that's messing up with some of the tracking, especially with averages.
What's the big takeaway there, David? Because a lot of people, when they're watching this and they see, okay, today we have, I don't know, 15, 20 more cases in a certain area. And then tomorrow it's like 30. And then it's like 10 the next day. I mean, what are we to take, especially with the new way that these numbers are coming out?
Yeah, I think it's really important to stop looking at just these daily changes and start looking at 7-day averages or the 14-day average. And both Bamatracker and the health department's dashboard actually show these averages. Bamatracker actually shows the averages for hospitalizations, cases, deaths, and tests as well. So look at that 7-day line, and I think you'll see a smoother change versus the daily.
Now, you brought up hospitalizations. This is another key factor here when looking at the numbers. Officials have been telling us, David, the numbers are down and manageable, but what are we seeing trend-wise?
So overall, the state trend for current hospitalizations is maintaining a pretty steady number, close to 600 current across the state. It depends a lot on which hospitals report to the health department, and you'll see on the weekends that number dips a little bit. But if you look at the 7-day average of current hospitalizations, it's still very steady.
David, we've got about 30 seconds left. We talked about the R0 chart. It's significant because it shows kind of the potential for the spread of the virus. Under 1, the virus stops spreading exponentially. So what are the trends right there as we speak?
So we're still over 1 from a state level, around 1.07, according to a few sources for that. I think that indicates there's still some spreading in certain parts of the state. A place like Morgan County is actually showing at around 1.2, 1.28, according to another resource for the R0. I think that means that what you're seeing in that increases in cases lines up with the R0 that's being reported as well.
We're going to keep following the trends with you, David. Thanks again for joining us this morning. David Barconnet with Bamatracker. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, David.